honorable representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great day in the city of Portsmouth, and we're honored that you're here to celebrate this auspicious occasion. On behalf of the DeLong Company, thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Greg Edwards, and I serve as a member of the sales team at the Port of Virginia. My thanks to DeLong for granting me this very special opportunity today. During the course of this morning's program, I will introduce several distinguished speakers, but before we begin, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize honored guests in attendance, and I'll ask you to please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. And I'll begin with the City of Portsmouth, City Council members Mark Hugel, Vernon Tillage, Yolanda Thomas, Dr. Bill Dotson, and City Manager Stephen Carter. The Mayor will receive his own special introduction in just a little while. Also on the honored guest list today, Ben Green, representing the office of U.S. Senator Mark Warner, Diane Kaufman, representing the office of U.S. Senator Tim Kaine, and Jenny Bivens, representing the office of State Senator Emily Jordan. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. On behalf of Stephen Edwards, Port of Virginia CEO, Joe Ruddy, our Chief Operating Officer, and all of my port colleagues, I want you to know how excited we are and how proud we are that the DeLong Company is making this significant investment and planting their corporate flag in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Agriculture is Virginia's largest industry, and agricultural exports are critical to the port's success and growth. For more than 15 years, we have enjoyed a relationship of trust and mutual benefit with DeLong, handling tens of thousands of their export containers destined for customers all over the world. Today's event solidifies the Port of Virginia's position as the primary gateway for agricultural exports on the U.S. East Coast. We would not have achieved this position without the consistent support of our elected and appointed representatives, our local and regional allies, our railroad partners, thank you CSX, and the port's ocean carrier customers. Special thanks to CMA, who has a very large contingent of executives present with us today. At the top of that collaborative pyramid sits the most important partner of all, the beneficial cargo owner, the DeLong Company, Incorporated. Today is their day, and we are gathered to celebrate their vision, their commitment, and their success. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome me in joining Chris DeLong, President of the DeLong Company, Incorporated.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris DeLong, President of the DeLong Company, and I'm excited to be here today to officially break ground on our newest containerized export facility. From day one, Virginia, and especially the city of Portsmouth, has been one of our best experiences to date when it comes to site selection and planning. I was recently told that the city is unapologetically pro-business, which is a very accurate statement. The speed and enthusiasm this community has shown us has been absolutely incredible. So with that, please give this city a nice round of applause. This facility represents more than just new infrastructure. It's a long-term investment in U.S. agriculture, global trade, and the city of Portsmouth. It'll help streamline exports of Virginia U.S. grown grains and oilseeds, as well as our ability to serve global markets and provide good local paying jobs. I want to take a few moments to thank the people who helped us get here today, and I want to apologize in advance if I miss anybody, as this has been a true team effort. The Portsmouth Economic Development Team, Charles Bauman, Faith Griffin, Christopher Tillett, and Brian Donahue. This team is second to none, professional, incredibly timely. The Portsmouth Port and Industrial Commission, Ben Foster and Keith Rice, thank you for your support with the PDIP program. The City of Portsmouth with Mayor Shannon Glover and the Portsmouth City Council. Thank you for your warm welcome to your fine city and your support with the RIA program. The Virginia Department of Rail and Public Transportation, Linda Balderson, Emily Stock, and Jordan Chapman, thank you for the education with the RIA program and your assistance throughout the entire process. Mike Steinhook from the Soy Transportation Coalition, thank you for your ongoing support over the years. The Port of Virginia, Stephen Edwards, Greg Edwards, AJ Kelly, Joseph Rudy, who have all been an incredibly valuable resource throughout this entire process. The CSX Railroad, Randy Marcus and Jody Lassiter. Jody, thank you for your assistance with site selection. And the wonderful people at CMA, Jason, Bianca, Tristan, Matt, Steve, Megan Saunders, and Megan Guffey, SJ, Kimberly, and Adeline. We truly value our long-term relationship and appreciate the continued collaboration. Most importantly, I want to mention some people from the DeLong team. First, as Aaron and Olivia from our marketing group, thanks for doing a great job for us and holding another great event. Gibson and Justin from our operational team. Those are the guys that actually do the work around here, and I want to extend my gratitude for them showing us what operational excellence looks like every single day. Brandon Bickham, our Vice President of Exports, and my brother Pat DeLong, our Vice President of Operations. With leadership like theirs, it's strategic to pursue long-term projects and commit meaningful capital to new opportunities like this. Their vision, discipline, and most importantly, past execution give us the confidence to move forward on large opportunities. So at our core, we are a family business. We take pride in doing things the right way, honoring our word, and being good project partners. Every project we take on reflects our values and the type of legacy we want to leave. Thank you all for giving our family business the opportunity to deliver on our promises. We're proud to be a part of the Portsmouth community and look forward to continuing this partnership and building something great together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Today's event also represents a great victory for the city of Portsmouth. In his State of the City remarks delivered earlier this month, the mayor said, and I quote, "Portsmouth is becoming the epicenter of the new blue maritime economy on the East Coast. This year, it's full steam ahead, from maritime and logistics to small business, wind energy, and advanced manufacturing. Every part of Portsmouth's economy is gaining strength and helping create a more vibrant future." Well said, Mr. Mayor. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Shannon E. Glover, Mayor of the great city of Portsmouth.
I'm always reminded of having those wow moments in Portsmouth. We're having a lot of wow moments. I want to thank Chris DeLong, first and foremost, for coming to the city of Portsmouth and joining the Portsmouth family. We too are a strong family, and we welcome you to our family. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What an exciting day to be in the city of Portsmouth. Today we stand at the crossroads of innovation, infrastructure, and the opportunity in which to break ground on a project that will not only transform this physical site, but will also transform our city's future. On behalf of the City Council, citizens, and businesses of Portsmouth, it is my great honor to welcome the DeLong Company Incorporated to the Portsmouth family. Your presence here today represents more than just a new facility, sir. It signals the powerful vote of confidence in Portsmouth's potential in our people and in our position as a gateway to the global economy. We are here today to mark the beginning of construction for the Portsmouth Agricultural Intermodal Export Facility. I think that deserves a hand. This is a project that is historic, visionary, and truly exceptional in every way. This terminal will be the first agricultural export facility of its kind on the East Coast. Once complete, it will represent the largest investment to date in a containerized agricultural transloading facility. That's not just big news for Portsmouth, That's big news for Virginia. That's big news for American agriculture. And it is big news for many family farmers and agribusinesses across the country who will now have faster, more cost-effective, and more efficient access to global markets. This facility will enable containerized agricultural exports to move seamlessly from rail to vessel. It will streamline the supply chain, reduce transportation costs, speed up time to delivery. From soybeans and corn to specialty grains and beyond, the Portsmouth Agricultural Export Facility will open its doors for Americans and producers. We will also be creating real economic opportunities right here in Hampton Roads and in the great city of Portsmouth. Let's talk about jobs. The DeLong Company's investment in Portsmouth will directly lead to the creation of dozens of high-paying jobs. James Clifton said in his book, Incoming Job Wars, that the most important thing for every worker in the world, not just in Portsmouth, the most important thing is a good job. We're gonna have good jobs. This facility will also support those 100 jobs through the supply chain, from trucking and rail to warehousing and shipping. These jobs will sustain families. Jobs will expand our local tax base. Jobs that will allow our residents to build careers, raise children, and stay rooted right here in Portsmouth. This is economic development done right, ladies and gentlemen. Bold investment, smart logistics, and regional collaboration. Make no mistake, Portsmouth is proud to be a part of this project. And we are a port city with a proud maritime tradition and a workforce that knows what it means to get the job done. We have a long, long history, and we have been a center for trade and defense shipbuilding and industry. And now, with projects like this, we are building the future. We are diversifying our economy and tapping into emerging markets like agriculture, exports, and intermodal logistics. Portsmouth also benefits from our strategic geography. Portsmouth Deepwater Port, proximity to Class 1 rail, and access to world-class infrastructure of the Port of Virginia makes us uniquely positioned to support this kind of transformative project. And thanks to continued investments from local, state, and federal levels and partners, we are now more connected than ever. To our partners at the Port of Virginia, Stephen Edwards, thank you for your vision and support. This project would not be possible without your leadership and continued commitment to economic growth. To our partners at the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, and to the many state and regional stakeholders who worked hard to bring this project to life, thank you for believing in our little city in Portsmouth and for helping us to deliver on the promise of shared growth. And to the DeLong Company, thank you again, sir. You are a company with a proud multi-generational legacy, and it speaks volumes that your leadership team saw in Portsmouth the potential for your next chapter. We are so very proud to be a part of this growth, and we are proud to have you as our partner and a member of our family. This groundbreaking is not just about concrete and cranes. It's about progress. It's about vision. It's about saying to the world that Portsmouth is open for business, and we're just getting started. So let's dig in, literally and figuratively, and build something lasting, a legacy. Let's build jobs. Let's build opportunity. Let's build a facility that feeds the world, empowers farmers, and puts Portsmouth on the global map as a hub for agricultural trade. Can we? Yes, we can. Congratulations once again to Chris and the DeLong Company, and welcome to Portsmouth and our family. Thank you all for being here today, and may this be the beginning of a long, successful partnership. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the city of Portsmouth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure to introduce the Dean of the Virginia Congressional Delegation, Congressman Robert C. Bobby Scott. Congressman Scott has represented Virginia's 3rd Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives since 1993. Prior to his service in Congress, he served 15 years in the Virginia General Assembly, a lifetime of public service. Please join me in welcoming Congressman Bobby Scott.
Thank you, Chris DeLong. Welcome to Hampton Roads. State, local, and port officials, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here with all of you to celebrate the groundbreaking of the DeLong Company's new agricultural export facility right here in Portsmouth, Virginia, that will expand commerce through the Port of Virginia. The Port of Virginia is an economic engine that's not just for the region, but for the entire Commonwealth. Investments made here have created high-paying jobs that support the local community, and they've served many industries that make up Virginia's economy by providing an outlet to sell goods throughout the world. And this is a direct result of the collaboration between the port, its companies, and our cities, state, and support from, obviously, local, state, and federal officials. The bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act invested billions of dollars in our nation's ports, and as a result of these two laws, the Port of Virginia has received funds to deepen and widen the Norfolk Harbor and to purchase low-emission equipment that supports the port's goal to become carbon neutral by 2024. Making these investments has been critical to the future success of the Port of Virginia. And it's always good to see investments actually turn into actual projects. And so the DeLong Company's new facility has benefited from these investments and will add diversity to our local economy. This investment will support the port's work as a leading agricultural exporter in the United States, and I look forward to working with the DeLong Company and the Port of Virginia as this facility moves to the next phase of construction. And we'll continue fighting for resources for projects like this that need to come to Hampton Roads. So congratulations, Chris DeLong, the DeLong Company. And I'm grateful to everyone here who had the vision and leadership that brings us together for this celebration. Thank you.
Congressman Scott, thank you very much. In my opening remarks, I mentioned that agriculture is Virginia's largest industry. The strength of agriculture, paired with the services provided by the Port of Virginia, America's most modern gateway, creates a dynamic partnership. I'm pleased to report from firsthand experience that our next speaker and his team understand and embrace the critical connection between agriculture and global export markets. Matthew Lohr serves as the 5th Secretary of Agriculture and Forestry for the Commonwealth of Virginia. He was raised on a Century family farm in the Shenandoah Valley and has spent his entire life working for the betterment of agriculture. So I imagine this is a very good day for you, Mr. Secretary. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Matt Lohr.
Well, good morning, everyone. Greg, thank you. And when you first started out this morning, I thought you were going to give my speech, so I got a little nervous. But it is great to be here today to join all of you in this great celebration. You know, when you have this many speakers coming up to the stage, it's hard not to be repetitive, but I'm going to try. But I just too want to start off by thanking the DeLong family for choosing Virginia. My good friend Secretary Miller over here knows that we have a governor that we serve that is very competitive. And when we can beat out other states for projects like this, it's really just a great day for him and a great day for our team, because I know you had choices of where you could go. So we thank you. I also love the fact that the DeLongs are 6 generations of business. That's phenomenal when you think about that. I'm blessed to be a 5th generation farmer myself, and I know how that works, handing the baton off to the next generation. And I love their slogan is that it's legacy based on integrity, family, innovation, growth, and quality. I love that. Welcome to Virginia. We are excited to have you here. It's been said that today is all about collaboration, and projects like this don't just happen every day without so many key folks coming to work together, from the private sector to our local officials, our state agencies and leaders, our federal partners. Congressman, thank you for the work you've done. It's rare when we can have all of them come together for projects like this, but today truly is one of those. As Greg said, that as Secretary, I have to start off every one of my speeches by reminding people that agriculture is our largest industry, forestry is our third largest, combined with $102 billion annually of economic impact. And out of that $100 billion, $3.5 billion every year comes from the exports of ag products. This $26 million project here will be a great addition to our ag export community, helping our farmers, helping our families, and helping our ag communities. When I started this job almost 4 years ago, one of our top goals was to help find new markets for our farm families. And today is definitely going to be a huge win for them, as there are more opportunities that they have to sell their grain. And our team at the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, raise your hand. We have some of our grain inspectors over here, our deputy commissioner. They are a part of this, and we stand ready to assist and help you be successful. So as I wrap up, today is a great celebration, but really it's just the beginning, because as we know, this is phase one, but phase two is already being talked about, being developed, and will create even more opportunities. I'll close with one of my favorite sports stories about a wide receiver named Charlie Hennigan. Charlie Hennigan was a wide receiver in the 1960s, played for the old Houston Oilers team, and at the end of the 1960 season, the NFL record for the most catches made by a receiver in a season was 100. At the end of the 1960 season, going into 61, Charlie decided that he wanted to break that goal going into the next year, so he set the goal of 101. Everything he did that entire offseason, everything he did that entire year was focused on the number 101. Had banners up in the locker room, his team knew it, the stadium, the family, everybody knew that that was the goal. And as the season progressed, he was on track to break this record, but came down to the last game of the year and he had tied the mark of 100, needing just one catch to break the record. A minute and a half into the last game of the season, he caught that ball, made the record, standing ovation, they gave him the game ball, and that mark actually stood in the NFL for over 30 years. But what's interesting, when you go back and you do some more research on that story, he caught that ball with only a minute and a half into the game, getting 101, which was what his goal was. But he went on throughout the rest of that last game to drop the next 5 passes that were thrown to him. Sometimes as we set goals and we have a mark in mind, we achieve it and we're satisfied. And literally we take our eye off the ball. But I know that as we celebrate phase one today and look at phase two coming, that the DeLong family is not satisfied, and they are not taking their eye off the ball. This is just one step in many of future growth and future generation, and we are so excited to have you and your entire team here in Virginia and Portsmouth, and thank you so much for helping Virginia farmers and Virginia agriculture. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. An integrated freight and transportation strategy. No major port complex can succeed without one. No matter how deep the channels, how tall the cranes, and how modern the technology, without the connectivity of a robust road and rail network, a port's potential for growth is severely limited. For many years, our next speaker, a Norfolk native, served as a key voice in shaping Virginia's integrated transportation strategy. And for the last 3.5 years, under Governor Glenn Youngkin, he has led the implementation of that strategy across the Commonwealth. Please join me in welcoming a true friend of the port, Virginia Secretary of Transportation, Shep Miller.
Thank you very much, Greg. Great to be here today. As Greg said, I'm from Norfolk. I got to come home last night, 12 minutes here, pretty good day. Mr. Mayor, it's a great day to be in Portsmouth, but every day is a great day to be in Portsmouth, Virginia. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Our best-in-class port is an economic engine driving growth and opportunity totally across the Commonwealth. It is the star of Virginia, and it's the best port in the nation. We have the widest and deepest channels to take those big ships full of grain and containers full of grain, and it's the most efficient port, container port in North America. And all that's because of a team assembled by Stephen Edwards, who leads this port, and I just want to give them all a round of applause. Thank you very much. And it's because of our best-in-class port that we continue to see best-in-class companies like DeLong investing millions of dollars here in Virginia. Thank you to everyone here today for your hard work, collaboration, and commitment to making today's groundbreaking possible. Thank you to Chris DeLong. Chris, we appreciate you so much. Pat, thank you. And Brandon Bickham, your idea, here we are. Great work, sir. And Mr. Mayor, thank you and the entire City of Portsmouth leadership for supporting a project which has the potential to transform your city into an international agricultural shipping hub. Thank you to my friend, Secretary of Agriculture and Forestry, Matt Lohr. All you do to support agriculture in the Commonwealth is just outstanding. Matt, I will tell you, I'm not so sure that receiver's family wants you to keep telling that story. Maybe you just ought to stop after the first 101 and move on, all right? Just saying. And folks, if you allow me a little personal privilege as I talk about my colleague, Matt. Last night we lost a member of our team in the governor's office, a good friend, Stock Watson, who worked as a director in natural resources. And so if you'll please just join me quickly in a moment of silence. Amen. Congressman Bobby Scott, what can I say? How many years has it been, sir? Do the math, 36, I think. 36? No, it's 46. I think it's 46, sir. 46 years ago, I met this man when he was campaigning around the city of Newport News, running for re-election. His first term almost over and running for re-election in the House. And I was running a Senate campaign, and I've watched him ever since. 46 years of dedicated service, and more than that, he's just a heck of a human being. So thank you, Bobby. Stephen, as I said, the port has been critical to this project, and thank you and Greg for all the work that you've done. I also want to thank Department of Rail and Public Transportation, Linda Balderson at the DRPT for all your work to help DeLong receive this industrial access grant and make this project a reality. As chairman of the Commonwealth Transportation Board, it was a great pleasure to take action to get the $750,000 rail industrial grant approved, which is now done and in the bank, I think, and so we're really happy about that. It was a small way for us to demonstrate to DeLong and Portsmouth and all involved that the Commonwealth is committed to the long-term success of this investment. I know there are people I've missed, but the point I'm making is that we're here today because of the work and dedication of countless people across this region. Everyone here today and many, many more who are not. So thank you all. Really appreciate everything that you've done. While we're here, I want to share a little bit about the DeLong Company, as I've had the opportunity to get to know them pretty well in my current role. DeLong is a top-notch company, and we're lucky to have them invest in Virginia. And this isn't just any investment. It's the largest investment to date in a container transloading facility. The largest investment to date, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a round of applause. Last fall, Governor Youngkin and I had the great privilege of being with DeLong leadership when they received the Shipper of the Year award at the International Trade Symposium in Norfolk. This well-deserved award recognized their status as the #1 containerized product exporter, both in the U.S. and internationally. Folks, DeLong is a top company, and we're very pleased to see them expanding right here in this top state for business. Chris, as you know, I'm a farmer. I raise soybeans and corn. And so I feel you. I got a little small farm and somebody else farms it. But I love the business, I love agriculture, and I love what you all do. I'm really happy to share that the company already has a 15-year working relationship with the Port of Virginia. And today we're taking this relationship to the next level with this $26 million announcement. In addition to the DeLong Company's success, and this investment will support the port's continued growth and success. And so we're very appreciative for you for doing that. DeLong has chosen the perfect time to invest in Virginia, as the port is in the midst of a $1.4 billion modernization, expansion, and improvement project known as the Gateway Investment Program. Once fully operational by 2027, the Port of Virginia will be the most modern gateway in America and the deepest port on the East Coast, capable of handling the world's largest container ships. And as Greg mentioned, it doesn't all work just one at a time and piece by piece. It needs to be integrated. The Commonwealth is supporting this effort with projects like the $4 billion Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel Expansion Project, the $754 million I-64 widening, and by supporting freight rail projects such as this one. And folks, this strategy is working. This has got a lot of people behind it. We've got DeLong here. We've got Port 460 opened up the other day. A few months ago, we did a groundbreaking. You know, we got AutoZone up on 64 up in the Gap that we're widening. Target just announced a big warehouse there. Matin is building some spec warehousing, 1 million square feet up there, and Buc-ee's has announced that they're going in there as well. I mean, we are rolling here in Hampton Roads. The Port of Virginia is on a roll, and we're going to keep it going. And listen, people have taken notice. Our expanding top-tier transportation system, combined with the growing port, were important factors for consideration when CNBC picked Virginia as the top state for business in 2024. And they are factors when attracting world-class investments such as this one. Together, through all these projects and continued collaboration, we will continue to see economic growth and success across the Commonwealth. These projects, including today's announcement, play a critical role in furthering investment in the Commonwealth and leveraging one of our very best assets, this here at Port of Virginia. So thank you for allowing me to be here today. I appreciate it very much. 12 minutes from home to here. That's a great opportunity to get back here in Norfolk. And by the way, I grew up here on the Elizabeth River, looking at this port my whole life. I continue to see it. And my second favorite city, Mr. Mayor, I grew up in Norfolk, but my sister city across the river, I look at every day at Portsmouth. I'm really proud to be here, and I'm really proud of the leadership and the council y'all put together to run this city. So thank you very much. Thank you, DeLong, for your partnership. I really look forward to breaking ground on phase 2 of this project very soon. But thank you so much for having me. Y'all have a great day. By the way, hug your family, love your life, live it well. We just don't know when it ends.
Secretary shared some very important, meaningful comments, but on a personal level, I appreciate the Buc-ee's reference. Many of us are excited to make that commute to New Kent County for beaver nuggets, so thank you, Mr. Secretary. And if you've spent any time in this area at all, you understand the phrase as military jets scream overhead. We refer to that as the sound of freedom. That's right. So we appreciate your indulgence this morning as the sound of commerce rumbles by in both directions. Thank you for that. Our next speaker has 20 years of experience in economic development, community development, and real estate across the Commonwealth of Virginia. He is the director of Portsmouth's economic development team, providing oversight of the office's business recruitment, retention, and workforce development efforts. He is also a very good friend of the port and its customers. Please join me in welcoming Brian Donahue.
Well, good morning. This is most definitely a tremendous day in the city of Portsmouth, and we're very pleased to have you joining us here to celebrate a momentous occasion. It's an opportunity to welcome the DeLong Company to our community and to celebrate the transformational agricultural export facility that will rise where we stand today in less than a year's time. Today is also an opportunity to demonstrate Portsmouth's position as a gateway for global trade and our role in supporting the Commonwealth of Virginia's economic future. Today, Portsmouth is a city playing to its strengths, our waterfront and our workforce. We are leaning into our community's capabilities and leveraging our assets to support new investment, welcome new industry, and provide economic opportunity to our citizens and businesses. Together, we are witnessing Portsmouth's advancement as the epicenter of Virginia's new blue economy. You've already heard from many esteemed speakers this morning on the significance of this project, and it is a significant project. From the reactivation of this intermodal rail yard, connectivity to the Port of Virginia, the planned capital investment and creation of dozens of new high-quality jobs, the DeLong Company is making an historic impact on our community. Beyond these noteworthy contributions to the physical and economic landscape of Portsmouth are the partnerships and relationships this project is built upon. The DeLong Company, the Port of Virginia, CSX Corporation, City of Portsmouth, our Port and Industrial Commission, federal agencies, state officials, the Hampton Roads Alliance, our logistics providers, and agricultural producers. All of these entities, representatives of whom we have welcoming you here in Portsmouth today, have played a crucial role in the realization of this important project. I can't tell you how incredibly impressed I've been with the DeLong Company's corporate culture and engagement. Just this week, DeLong donated $5,700 to the City of Portsmouth's Fire, Rescue, and Emergency Services, even before putting a shovel in the ground. Thank you, President Chris DeLong, Pat DeLong, Brandon Bickham, Mike DeLong, Aaron Hamburg, Olivia McDonald, and the rest of the DeLong team for your enthusiasm, accessibility, and vision for Portsmouth. And to our partners at the Port of Virginia, their leadership, especially Greg Edwards, thank you for making the connections to bring this project to our community. Thank you, Jody Lassiter and the CSX Corporation, for your partnership and role in hosting this opportunity. Partnerships, both new and old, run deep in Portsmouth, and we look forward to continuing to build upon these relationships to support the success of this facility for many years to come. For over 110 years, the DeLong Company has worked to cultivate prosperity, and Portsmouth is continuing to carry out that mission with you. Together, we will do so. So on behalf of the City of Portsmouth Economic Development Office, I would like to congratulate the DeLong Company once again, and thank you for choosing Portsmouth for your expansion and investment. Thank you.
The following statement is taken from the website of the Virginia Department of Rail and Public Transportation, or DRPT. Our vision is a connected Commonwealth with an integrated multimodal network that serves every person, every business, and every need. Our next speaker spent the last 18 years furthering that vision. Please join me in welcoming Linda Balderson, Rail Capital Programs Manager with DRPT.
Good morning. I would like to thank the DeLong Company family for having me here today on behalf of DRPT. One of the dangers of being near the end of the speaking order is that you may hear a few repetitive things this morning. But as I said, I'm pleased to be here. I manage the Capital Rail programs for Virginia, which includes the Rail Industrial Access Program and the Short Line Preservation Grant Program. I'm also joined here today by Emily Stock. She is the Chief of Rail Transportation for Virginia, and Jordan Chapman. She is our Communications and Legislative Specialist. In mid-March of this year, the DeLong Company was awarded a Rail Industrial Access Grant, which will help defer some of the cost of rehabilitating the existing rail that you see out here, and also for installing new rail. The Rail Industrial Access Grant is part of a larger package of Virginia Economic Incentive Grant programs. Due in part to these economic incentive grants, Virginia has ranked as the #1 state in CNBC's annual America's Top States for Business for a record 6 times. The Industrial Access Program is the Commonwealth's oldest rail grant program. It dates back to the mid-1980s. A little bit of background on the Industrial Access Grant. Businesses can apply for up to $750,000 to either build a new rail spur or to rehabilitate an existing spur. The grant is based on a 70% Commonwealth and 30% grant recipient match. Annual rail carloads must be reported for 3 years after completion of construction. And with any use of public funds, there's a very transparent bid process to procure the contractors. The public benefits of the grant program include traffic diversion from trucks to rail, added employment, and a capital investment in our Commonwealth. The DeLong Company qualified for our maximum grant amount of $750,000. This grant will assist DeLong in constructing approximately 3,200 feet of new track and rehabilitating approximately 4,200 feet of existing track. DeLong's rail project will benefit Hampton Roads by spurring economic growth without adding truck congestion, truck emissions, and added maintenance needs to our local roads and highways. As a part of this grant, DeLong will report their annual rail carloads over a 3-year performance period. And finally, on a more personal note, I would like to say that DeLong has been a real pleasure to work with. Everyone that I have come into contact with your company has been great, responsive, and it's very much appreciated. This demonstrates their commitment to continued partnership with the city and with our Commonwealth. And thank you on behalf of DRPT for choosing Virginia. Yeah, thank you.
And the last shall be first, Mr. Lassiter. On Halloween Day 2023, I met Jody Lassiter for the first time along with my colleague Aaron Catrancha, who's standing in the back. We walked this property together with Brandon Bickham from DeLong. And as it turns out, that was the beginning of a great success story. Jody is a licensed attorney with a career focus as an economic development professional. He had over 25 years of leadership experience in the public sector before joining CSX nearly 4 years ago as manager of industrial development covering a 4-state region. It's no exaggeration to say that we would not be here today without the partnership and support of CSX. So please join me in welcoming our final speaker this morning, Mr. Jody Lassiter.
Thank you, Greg. Since I work for the railroad, it's always a pleasure to be the caboose. So that's what I am today. On behalf of all the CSX team, I can't tell you how proud we are to be DeLong's rail partner for this agricultural export facility here in Portsmouth, Virginia. I am but one of an extensive CSX team that supported and assisted this project along the way. From industrial development to real estate, regional sales to sales and marketing, construction and design to operations and to state relations. And I'm happy to note that our Director of State Relations for Virginia, Randy Marcus, is attending here with me today. You know, Greg, we actually began the site selection process with Brandon on August 17th, 2023. And after 25 years in economic development, I know that groundbreakings can make the time, the effort, the energy that's invested in the hard work to arrive at today's event seem so easy in hindsight. But the theme of our journey that started almost 2 years ago and culminates in today's celebration is one that I call being focused on solutions. All along the way, the CSX team, along with our partners at DeLong, were focused on solutions with a desire to get to yes. To get to yes. This CSX site, now leased to DeLong, is just one obvious example of that kind of creativity and that solutions-based thinking. The CSX team and I, all the CSX team and I, want to thank Chris, Pat, Brandon, and all of the DeLong team for the opportunity to be your partner, shoulder to shoulder, for the work that is behind us, as well as for the work ahead, because CSX services after the sale. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just have one final event left. Many of you here in the front row have a little ticket in your pocket that invites you to hoist a shovel over here to my immediate left and your right. And the folks at DeLong, who have extended great hospitality to us all morning, have actually arranged lunches in the back. So whether you're in the shovel photo or not, you're encouraged, if you can, to remain for a few minutes, stay and enjoy lunch. If you need to take lunch with you on the road, you're welcome to do that. So those of you who are picking up a shovel, I'll direct you in this way. And for everyone else, thank you very much for being here on this very special day.